16 News at 9 starts now.
Breaking news at this hour out of Helena, West Helena, where an armed man has barricaded himself inside a home after officers arrive and find two victims lying in the front yard. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm Kevin Kelly.
I'm Donna Terrell. The Helena, West Helena police chief confirming that the man remains inside the home near North Washington and that both Arkansas State SWAT and the bomb squad are on the scene right now.
For the very latest, we want to head out live to the scene where reporter Rebecca Butcher joins us live with an update on the latest situation. Rebecca?
Big armored tank, and now the incident mobile command center is here, and within the past 5 minutes, we actually...
Well, good evening. There's a very heavy police presence out here in Helena, West Helena. We're here near North Washington Street, and we actually just saw the SWAT team move a little bit further to where we think that shooting happened at that residence earlier this evening. That was around 4 p.m. Now, Helena, West Helena Police Chief Patrick Smith says officers were called to a home on North Washington Street at Bonanza. Again, this is a very fluid situation. We've been seeing a lot of law enforcement, state and local officials surrounding this area. We also saw a helicopter with officials coming out earlier today. Now, back to the actual incident. When officers tried to administer first aid to two people who were laying in the front yard, the chief says that a man inside of the home pointed a gun at them. He also tells me that no shots were fired at officers. Now, according to Arkansas, or rather, the chief says that Arkansas State Police have been called to the scene as well as a SWAT team that is now here. We did earlier again speak to one man who works at a plywood plant who saw two bodies in the yard earlier this afternoon. Take a listen.
Now, with all this police presence, as you can imagine, a lot of people here aren't used to seeing that. Hear what that man had to say about what it's been like having, again, not just one or two police cars, but dozens of officers here on this scene.
That was Rebecca Butcher, giving us the latest situation in Helena, West Helena, where a SWAT team has been trying to negotiate with a gentleman who has holed himself inside a house after two bodies were found lying in the front yard. Victims, I should say. We still don't know.
We don't know the status
to
of those victims. We don't know what's going on with them right now, but if we can get more information for you within this newscast, we will do so tonight. For the second day in a row, Little Rock school officials rush in to break up fights at Central High School. We're told one of the fights stems from a social media post, the other over a video game. Today's fights come 24 hours after a brawl in the school's cafeteria.
FOX16's Mitch McCoy also questioning school officials today on what they're doing to protect students. Mitch.
Well, yeah, Kevin and Donna, good evening to you both. School officials say they have several programs in place to prevent this kind of behavior from happening. Tonight, more students facing disciplinary action as the principal has a desperate plea for parents. Another video showing more students fighting at Central High School. The Little Rock School District confirms two fights happened Tuesday, one over a video game. The second fight involved 6 girls over a social media post.
As you might imagine, social media and cell phones are a huge problem for schools.
Central High Principal Nancy Russo notifying parents about the latest fights in a phone call.
In both cases, Little Rock School District Safety and Security, as well as school resource officers, immediately responded.
Like Tuesday's fight, video of Monday's brawl had been shared on social media.
We also identified the student who posted the videos that were initially shared numerous times throughout our city. That student will face disciplinary action.
Principal Russo says unlawful use of a camera or other electronic recording devices are in violation of the student handbook. She says the district is also required to notify police.
Parents, please visit with your children about the appropriate use of social media. We really need your partnership in helping us to monitor your children's social media usage.
As the school investigates yet another brawl, more and more students are being sent home. Yeah, and over the last couple of days, more than 15 students have been disciplined related to fights at Central High School. Officials at LRSD did not want to go on camera, but officials released a statement late this afternoon saying, quote, of the hundreds of students who attend Central every day, the majority attend class and obey the rules, as demonstrated by the school's stellar reputation for student achievement. We work daily to provide a positive culture and climate for students and to ensure they are connected to caring, nurturing adults. Kevin and Donna.
And I can certainly see why Ms. Russo would not want the students to be videotaping this, because that's how we get it. You know, I mean, they put it on social media and then it's for the whole world to see. It gives the school a black eye, that's for sure. I'm wondering, though, those fights look so violent, but are there any serious injuries coming out of it? And I don't want to imply that that makes it okay, but has anyone been seriously hurt?
We don't know. We have been working on getting some police reports. We've also been communicating with the school on trying to get some answers to how many fights there have been at Central High School this year. We're only, today is 2 weeks.
Right.
Exactly.
It hasn't been very
to the
long.
First day.
Right.
So we're working on a couple different more angles to this story. Obviously, there were a lot of questions we were going to try and get answered today, and then this happened.
Yeah.
So we're going to work on trying to get some of those answers tomorrow from school officials. But we have a very detailed list of the programs that LRSD has, including mental health counselors and other agencies and other support tools that the school offers to students at our website right now at FOX16.com.
Good to know.
It is good to know. All right. Thank you.
Now, weather to plan your day with Fox 16 Chief Meteorologist Jeff Baskin.
We started off the day with some showers and even some thunderstorms. That was mainly before dawn, but then we cleared out for the afternoon. Temperatures warmed up a little bit, although not as hot as it was yesterday for the most part because of the clouds that hung in there for a good part of the day. High temperatures staying in the mid to upper 80s, but it was still pretty humid out there, kind of sticky. Well, that humidity is actually going to be coming down thanks to a cold front, which is now moving through the state. Now, south of that front, temperatures still in the upper 70s, near 80 degrees, still very much that summer feel. But notice across northern Arkansas, it's a little bit cooler. Temperatures already down to the 60s, 70 right now in Mountain Home, 72 in Clinton. And that front pushes through tonight. Not really much in the way of moisture left with the front. The storms last night really took pretty much everything away from it. But that front moves through during the overnight hours, and drier air slowly starts to filter on in as we get into the day tomorrow. So tomorrow is not really going to be a lot cooler, but it's going to feel a little better out there, feel a little bit more comfortable thanks to the lower humidity. As we take a look at our forecast map, could be starting off with a few clouds during the morning hours as that front pushes into parts of southern Arkansas. But right now, it doesn't look like much in the way of shower activity developing with that front overnight or into tomorrow morning. Although trying to perk up a couple of showers over Oklahoma, but not really all that much for Arkansas. And as we go into the afternoon hours, that drier air continues to filter in. So skies become mostly sunny for the afternoon, and the humidity also goes down. I am keeping in just a very low rain chance for the early morning hours because we still will have that front moving on through, but not expecting too much, so I don't think that's going to be a big problem for the kids going off to school for that morning drive. And as we go into the afternoon, becoming mostly sunny, temperatures in the mid-80s and lower humidity. I'll show you how long that lower humidity sticks around, plus what to expect heading into your Labor Day holiday weekend coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Jeff, thank you. Authorities in Polk County turning to the public for assistance after they say a 10-year-old drowned near Scottsville. This happened on the Illinois Bayou on May 19th. Officials asking anyone who has any information about what happened or might have been in the area at the time of that drowning to call the Polk County Sheriff's Office Criminal Investigation Division, and the number is there on the screen.
Police arresting a man on a charge of criminal attempt to commit capital murder in a shooting and attempted robbery involving a Little Rock police officer 2 years ago. Officials tell us 43-year-old Kevin Lamont Pitts is facing multiple charges. According to police, he's been in the Pulaski County Jail since last month.
Little Rock police investigating a homicide. It happened on West 35th Street this morning. The fire department was the first to arrive, followed by MIMS, then Little Rock police. They found an African-American man dead from a gunshot wound.
We don't know how long he's been inside the residence, deceased. We suspect a few hours, but that's what we're trying to determine now.
Police haven't made any arrests right now, and there are no suspects. This, by the way, is Little Rock's 27th homicide this year.
A Little Rock woman faces charges after deputies say she drove away from a community center with kids in the car while she was drunk behind the wheel. Pulaski County Sheriff's deputies arrested Lamaya Allen Saturday. According to an arrest report, they got a tip that Allen had left the Wrightsville Community Center, possibly intoxicated with kids in her car. After a breathalyzer test, authorities say Allen blew more than double the legal limit. She was booked into jail on child endangerment and DWI charges. A former Mayflower art teacher accused of having sex with students has now pleaded guilty. Jessica Kaplan was in court yesterday after postponing the plea 5 times. She faces 2 counts of sexual assault. Court documents show she had sex with the boy in her car and in her classroom closet. She will be sentenced in mid-October. A Little Rock police officer and a woman are recovering in the hospital after a crash involving a police SUV. It happened in rush hour this afternoon near Capitol and Chester. This is surveillance footage of the accident we got just a short time ago. You can see the police cruiser try and go around the car, but the 2 collide. The cruiser ends up going into a nearby business. Authorities confirmed the officer was going to assist an officer call with lights and sirens on when it happened. No word on who might be at fault. We're told the injuries are non-life-threatening. It was another heated discussion at tonight's public meeting to address the future of the Little Rock School District. This is the 3rd time board members have met and allowed the public to give their input. The meeting was held at St. Mark Baptist Church, and that's where we find Fox 16's Rochelle Turner. She joins us live with more on tonight's events. Rochelle?
Donna, Kevin, good evening to you. As you mentioned, another heated debate tonight between several people in the community and members of the Board of Education. Much didn't get done because people spent time arguing back and forth with one another and the Board of Education. And tonight, people were very unpleased with the format of how the meeting actually went. Take a look at some of this video that we shot earlier. The board had 4 breakout sessions for people to attend and discuss their ideas, but people made it clear they didn't like that idea and they stayed inside the church hall. Only 2 of the 4 sessions had a handful of people inside. The purpose was to allow the board to hear everyone, and when they returned to the church hall, people could give their opinions and they could talk about what was discussed. Instead, people who remained at the church hall put together a list of ideas they want for the district. It included full control of the district, reopening schools that were closed, and getting new board members. It didn't take long for things to go from 0 to 100, and people say they're just not going to give up. Take a listen.
We're in it to win it. We've been in it since January the 25th, 28th, 2015. We have been on the governor. We have been on the State Board of Education. We have been on every superintendent that we've had since then. And let me just say this. They talk about instability in the Little Rock School District, but since they've taken over, we've had 4 different superintendents. They are creating the division.
Now, they also wanted the same rules and standards as charter and private schools. There was also one student who spoke out and said she would like to see the Board of Education allow other students in the district to speak at this next meeting. It was a lot going on tonight, lots of back and forth between so many people. They were yelling, so it was kind of hard for the Board of Education to see what everybody was wanting to see change. But coming up Thursday, they're going to have another meeting. It's going to be at Longley Baptist Church. It's going to be from 5:30 to 8. For now, reporting live in Little Rock, I'm Rochelle Turner, Fox 16 News.
Let me ask you this, Rochelle, because this has been going on for 4.5 years. Many of the people in these meetings are saying that the Board of Education hasn't accomplished anything. Some saying the Board of Education has actually failed. Last night's meeting, there were protests, heated arguments. Tonight, another protest, more heated arguments. Are they considering changing the format at all to see if anything can be accomplished with these meetings?
Kevin, that's a good question. And there was one person who actually stood up and said that they would like to see the next board meeting, this meeting coming up Thursday. They would like to see someone in the community actually moderate the meeting instead of the Board of Education. But another person jumped in, so the answer was not even given tonight. But I will be sure to reach out to the Board of Education in the morning time and make sure I get that answer for you. But right now, it just kind of depends. I know the very first meeting I went to, they kind of just answered, the board kind of allowed people to give their questions and answers, and then tonight it was the breakout session, and people just did not like that. So I'm going to be working on that tomorrow and see what I can find out.
All right, Rochelle, thank you for the feedback. Appreciate it very much.